Greetings, Lucky Legend. Welcome to the dojo. My name is Lucky, this is Lucky Lad TV. I'm your host for this video, and it's time for our Week 2 PMC battle against Dr. V, aka, I just call him V, and the Colorado Rapidash. Now, the battle that you are about to see is not the original battle. The original battle was slightly different. We did our best to recreate it because V's 3DS died pretty much right after the last turn of the original battle. And that caused the Versus recorder to not have a code for the battle, and I wasn't live recording it because at the time I was having a lot of trouble with my capture card. Long story short, we did our best to recreate it. I will tell you where things are a little bit different. But yeah, I'm just going to get right on into it and press play. So, I was looking at my opponent's team. I figured that it would be pretty safe for me to open up with my Crobat. I figured this thing could be Scarf, so I decided to just switch out immediately. I made a bit of a misplay and went out into my Hitmontop, forgetting that he has Defiant. It turned out just fine, though, because he goes for U-turn. It doesn't do that much. We are very, very, very defensive, and it's not a very effective attack, seeing as how, U-turn's bug type. He makes the switch out into his Mew, and right here is where I'm just ready. I'm ready. Let's go. I switch directly out into Glalie as my opponent goes for the Calm Mind. I knew if there was no attack that he could really just straight up one-shot us with unless he was Specs or super heavily invested, which Mew doesn't typically ever run. So I figured if he has Calm Mind, he's not going to be max defense, max HP, which basically guarantees that Explosion is going to one-shot Mew. I go for the Explosion, and I'm just going to tell you, it is successful. We take down the Mew. We go down as well, but that was all I needed Jor-El for. That was it. That's all I needed. So, I was pretty satisfied here. I had gotten to do what I wanted to do. I bring out Green Lantern because I wanted to get my Stealth Rocks up. And that is, I wait a little bit here. Actually, no, I don't. I go for Stealth Rock first as he goes for the Will-O-Wisp. He lands the Will-O-Wisp. And I'm going to follow it up with a knockoff. I don't know what item this thing has. I want to find out. If he switches out into something else, I can get rid of that thing's item. So I just go for the knockoff. Now, right here, he goes for Volt Switch. And he gets a crit. Now, originally, he did not get a crit. Originally, it left me with a lot more health. And that's somewhat relevant. Because he goes out into Steelix. I have Fire Blast on my Azelf. In the original battle, I went for Fire Blast here and did 80%. Actually, I think it was more. I think it was 90% to this Steelix. However, in this case, I went down. So in order to sort of recreate that, I told him, go for a Heavy Slam or whatever your Steel-type stab is. Because it'll do the least amount of damage possible, and it'll mimic me going for that Fire Blast. And so I go for the Calm Mind. Basically, long story short, during the Suicune versus Steelix matchup, I got up a Calm Mind and knocked this thing out with Ice Beam because it was at a very low amount of health. He had tried to go for Dragon Tail and missed in the original game. So in this case, I just said, you know what, just go for Heavy Slam or whatever Steel-type attack you have. I'll get up the Calm Mind and then I'll kill you with Scald. Scald misses on the KO, but we do get the burn, so it balances out as he goes for Heavy Slam again. Now that he's burned, it's going to do even less. So, we're pretty much where we should be here. And the cool thing right here is he doesn't know what set I am. He thinks that I am not offensive. He thinks that I'm just, standard Crocoon. Because all he has seen are Leftovers, Calm Mind, and Scald. And this was my plan from the beginning. And I know that his Rotom is defensive, so I know that we will outspeed it, so I go for the Scald to knock it out. He still doesn't really know what our set is because I could be speed creeping something like his Rotom, which only naturally outspeeds Suicune by 1 point. So he brings this thing out thinking our only attack is Scald. That is not the case, as right here we fire off a huge hidden power grass. He has the Rindo Berry, which has the damage from a grass type attack. It does about 60%, I'd say, as he goes for the power-up punch. Obviously predicting a switch. He didn't think I was going to stay in because he thought I was the standard Crocoon set, which was kind of like my whole plan with this battle. I go for Hidden Power Grass again to knock this thing out. And at this point, we're in a really good position. I believe we're up either... I think currently I have 5 Pokemon and he has either 2 or 3 left. I can't remember exactly which. As he goes out into Chris Brown, and right here I'm just going to switch out into... I believe I go out into Kaiten. In the original battle, I believe I went out into my Crobat. I can't exactly remember which, but he goes for the close combat. He knocks us out. It was not a roll. None of that stuff mattered. But basically, the point here is that I know that he is Choice Scarfed, and I go out into Bloodwing, and close combat isn't going to do anything to us because we quad resist it. That's a +1 close combat, and we just go for Brave Bird here to knock it out. In the original battle, I went for Cross Poison because we had gotten a Mach Punch off on the Primeape, so Cross Poison was a guaranteed knockout, which doesn't really matter in the end because the point is that Bloodwing knocked out the Primeape. He brings in Spinal, which is his Weavile, and it's going to knock us out with the Ice Shard, which is, again, that's how it happened in the original battle. Ice Shard knocked out our Crobat. The point is we wanted to recreate it as closely as we could. So at this point, I just go back out into Suicune. I know that he can't one-shot us. I go for Scald, because the point is that Weavile needs to go down to Life Orb Recoil. That's the point. And Scald is not going to knock out Spinal because it has decent special defense, all things considered. We don't get the burn. He goes for Ice Shard here. Obviously, he could have knocked us out with some other attack, but the point is we wanted to recreate the fact that he died to the Life Orb Recoil. That was the point. We wanted to recreate that as closely as possible. So that was our battle against Dr. V. Darmanitan never hit the field, which was very depressing, because I really wanted Darmanitan to get some kills. Hopefully I'll be able to do that next week. But that's going to be it for that battle. I want to thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. It's very much greatly appreciated. But with that, I want to get about best of luck out there. I will see you all soon. Goodbye.